So this is where I'm camping today, here after my silent retreat. 7 days, or actually nearly 8. I'm not that far away from where I was retreating, it was up there. So I'm in a new forest. Beauty and fall, death, for a new birth to come, a new fire to be lit as we enter Sagittarius soon enough, or we go all the way to next year when we enter Aries season. Before I go into it, let's see this. Look how beautiful it is. This is a sign of death and rebirth. This tree was tilted probably by a storm. You see the roots here? It was tilted and new life started growing on it. The greenery. How beautiful can death be? Look how beautiful it is. That's why I chose to camp here. Because I thought the scenery was very beautiful. Very beautiful. The death of our egos. The resurrection of our higher selves. Welcome. Forgot to take off my sign. Still feeling the atmosphere a lot. Yeah, so again, welcome to you guys. Let's start with your sign. Hi there, Pisces, and welcome to your modern shaman, Maria and Rainbow Land, here with the weekly heartful astrological forecast for the week that starts at the 5th and ends at the 12th of November 2018. I will be a little more moderate and slow in my speaking due to the silent retreat that I have been on. I am in another pace right now, just feeling the beautiful spiritual energy running through me. So I hope I can transfer some of that to you guys in the stressful life we're living. So this week it's all about you keeping the right spirit, expanding your mind and opening up. And we will start with the card of the week for the Pisces, the astrology card of the week for the Pisces. Then we will go into a 5 to 7 minutes report, maybe a little longer, just for the Pisces, for the ones that just want the shorter version. And then after that we will go in depth with some things, as we usually do. So the astrology card of the week comes now, and the tarot card comes at the end. And I started with your sign this week, Pisces, because otherwise you're always the last, so that I could film it in light instead of darkness. Astrology card of the week for the Pisces is Void of Course Moon. Just a second, let me put the light right here. It's overexposed. Just a second, let me get the light right. So void of course moon is usually when the moon is not making any aspects. And since it's going through Libra and all the way into Capricorn, where we have planets in all these signs, even also opposing, then we cannot speak about a void of course moon physically, but we can speak about it on a psychological level for you guys. So before we enter the actual reading, I would like to put an emphasis upon you guys maybe feeling disconnected. This could be what this card is saying, and isolating yourself a little bit. But it's very important that, of course, you always have to take time for yourself. But as the Pisceans often can stay in their little, and I have Venus and Mercury there, so I'm counting myself in their own world, like in a dreamy bubble, where we are void of course. It's a very good idea not to do that this week, but really, keeping the right spirit open and expand your mind and your horizon. We start with the moon in Libra on Monday, and we have many things going on this week. It's an interesting week. Let's look at the fire instead of me while I'm talking. So we're starting out with a Monday, which is actually the moon day in astrology. So it's a moony atmosphere where we are feeling our emotions that can often go up and down, and the feminine side, a little unpredictable, but also inspiring. And we start out, of course, we have your own planet, the main ruler, or both of them. Let's take both. Neptune in the first house, it's still in retrograde, 13 point something, nearly 14 degrees. So just to start with the Neptune, with him, it's you still going over inner stuff about who you are, and revealing new layers, peeling new layers of the onion. We are like spiritual beings in bodies here. We get born and we are pure and innocent, and then layers are put upon us from our parents and environments, karma, some scars, and then we have to peel them off again. And with your planet in retrospect here, you're going over this on an internal level. This can also be the moon void, of course, the card I picked. And then we have, at the same time, so it's a funny combination, we have Jupiter in your 9th house, but changing signs, but it's the last days here with Jupiter in your 9th house. So this means that until Thursday, until he's coming home, he'll be in your 9th house, where you really are expanding your mind. And we also have the sun there, of course. You're expanding your mind, and the moon will gonna come there too, and we'll have a new moon there. So you really have to open up to your intuition, and the way to expand the mind for the Pisces is going into depth with it, and feeling alive, supported by life somehow. Get that feeling. It will be a good time to get that feeling with the sun here in the middle of your 9th house as well. And then we have Uranus in the last day for half a year in Taurus, in your 3rd house of communication and movement. And so it will soon go in, actually already on Tuesday, it will move into Aries in retrograde. And here in Aries, he will he will get you clean the last tensions in your 2nd house of your resources, your finances, your self-worth, but also your values. Going over which value, what is it that you value? What is really important here? You need to, for half a year with Uranus here, for the last time in our lives, get the last tensions cleaned out here, and get the last epiphanies. That's what Uranus gives us, and downloads, so that you can make sure that you have the right values, the right value systems, what really supports you, which is, another layer peeled off the onion. Instead of the values you were given by your parents or your environment or your teachers, what are your real core values? On Tuesday it's there, but another thing going on Tuesday is also that we have your planet in a nice trine to the sun between your 1st and your 9th house. So it is really, really about broadening your horizon, getting out of the fish tank, and receiving those downloads it can come through intuition on a deep level, through meditating, but it can also come through teachers. And teachers doesn't always have to be, certified teachers. It can also be some wise woman in your life, a wise man in your life, someone you suddenly meet on the street. You happen to watch something in the television. Your mom, your dad, your partner. Maybe you read it. Maybe you just sense it. But it's really important to stay open to the messages you get, so that you can expand your world and expand your mind. Then we also have Jupiter on Thursday moving. It's going home. He's coming home, just like your planet is home. Neptune in your first house is home, so your first house is feeling safe, retrograding, as I said. And then Jupiter is coming home in your 10th house with your career stuff and your face in the world and your ambitions and destiny, what it is that you want to show the world that you can do. So he's coming home. We have Venus at home in your 8th house, which is also about a lot of depth. And we have Saturn in your 11th house, and the depth, also connecting with other people, especially with Venus, but also Saturn in your also at home. For the 4 planets at home in your 11th house by Thursday. So you're gonna have a feeling of getting home, and home we know is where the heart is. So it is, of course, a feeling inside of you of reaching a place where, wow, this is who I am. I got one layer deeper. I got one step closer. Let's see the heart. I got one step closer to my heart and to who I really am. And cherish that. And try to know that if fears comes up, or if you feel like stepping back into the old patterns, you have to have a certain will of moving forward. So once the realization is done, you have to put a plan for how you want to improve, so that you don't fall back into old patterns. But I'm sure you can do that. So, Mercury is in your 10th house already, where Jupiter is going. The first decan here, so you are really thinking about your career and your professional life, and who you are, how you come about in the world, and that spirit that you show the world out there. So maybe you're planning some things for how to. You're getting some good ideas, some good conversations, communication about these things in your world, worldly affairs. And we have Mars in your 12th house at the same time. So it's funny how this week is really a combination of planets from the 8th to the 12th house primarily. It's about you in the world, you with other people, but also you in your spiritual life and your inside. Mars is in around 24 degrees of Aquarius, your 12th house. In the 12th house we meditate, we let go. We things die, inner and outer things. Spirituality, regressions, like past life regressions even, or earlier this life. And it's also like not wanting to let go, and delirious states of conditions. So things that you've been through a lot here actually, during a long period of 4 months at least. But you can look forward now with more self-esteem with Mars out of that zone we've talked about sometimes. So but use your spirituality and that self-worth there to get some things purged still. And we of course also have the notes now in the 5th house. So this is new for you because it just moved. So this is an opportunity for growth and cleaning up. growth and cleaning up in your love life, your romantic life. Also, if you have children, like the relationship you have with your children, the creative things, or if you have your own business or your own projects. For 1.5 years, there will be a possibility of growth here, with also different eclipses that will put an emphasis upon these things off and on. So Uranus is in your second house, moving back in your second house was on Tuesday, and we had Wednesday, when we had the moon, a new moon on Wednesday, going on in your ninth house. Again, ninth house focus, expanding your world, planning traveling. Maybe you're planning a trip, or maybe you're getting an education, learning a new language, a higher education of some sort. It can be spiritual, but it can also just be that you're expanding your mind and having a teacher. Or you yourself come to read and study things on the internet. And as I said, Jupiter coming home Thursday, where the moon is also, and Thursday is a Jupiter day actually, so that is funny. Jueves is Spanish Jupiter. So Jupiter day Thursday is really probably a lot of things going on, getting a lot done. And the moon is also coming in here and conjuncting this spot, really putting an emphasis upon it at 8 o'clock in Denmark, depending on where you are. East Coast, 6 hours later. West Coast, not earlier. West Coast, 9 hours earlier. And then Friday, it's the Venus day. Viernes in Spanish. It is Venus day Friday. But there we have the moon still in Sag, and the nice thing this day is that Mars is in a trine with Venus in air sign. So Venus in the retrograde phase, between your 8th and your 12th house, it can deepen your relationships. You can really get some understandings about how you share yourself, share your resources with other people, and where you spiritually need to let go if you want to improve how you connect with others on a deeper level. This is a nice aspect. We've had, it isn't that long ago since we had the square between the two, and Mars and Venus are the lovers of the zodiac. So this is you and your relation to the opposite sex. On Saturday, which is Saturn day, well, the moon is in Saturn's sign in your 11th house of friendships in Capricorn. So things are maybe it's time to hang out with friends and plan the future, be optimistic, if you can. Of course, you'll meet up with Saturn and Pluto there, so maybe it's talking serious business. And Sunday, the Sun day, which is the day of the Sun, and the Moon is trining Pluto. No, the Sun is sextiling, Pluto. June 9th and the 11th. Another great chance with the Moon also here. A lot of emphasis upon your future planning and your groups of people that you hang out with, associations, social life, your social sphere. Of it really expanding your mind. Maybe you're talking with someone from another country, or someone who's expanding your mind and giving you revelations for the future and your vision of the world. Let's take the tarot card of the week for the Pisces. Tarot card of the week for the Pisces. Oh, isn't that lovely? So we have the North Node in your 5th house now. This is the house of romance. Look, some nostalgic, because the 12th house with all these things going on, and the 8th and the 12th house. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. it's also nostalgic memories. And look, he's giving her flowers. So if you are a man, maybe you can consider giving your beloved, or maybe even your mother, or someone you care for, in one way or the other, a flower or a nice heartful gift of love. It doesn't have to be things. It can also just be that you cook for them, or whatever. And open your romantic heart. For 1.5 years, it will be here in your 5th house. So this is definitely a time for the Pisces to open up to that emotional, beautiful, sensitive side, and your intuition as well. Thanks for watching. Now part 2 of the program. See you next week if you don't want to see part 2. And now it's time to follow the link just below the video, the first link that will take you to the Facebook live video uploaded here on YouTube for the second part of this program. Do it. See you there.
There is this angel saying, I'm gonna find my way back home. The secret is love, he said. You've got to lift yourself up, try again. One day you will break through. What you long for will find you.
Don't follow trends, follow your heart.